Hey guys, Matt with Tightest for Truckers, and today I'm going to show you how to get your tarps rolled up as tight as possible. Now the amount of times you're going to fold it, towards the inside depends on how you're going to store it. I got to put it in that little box. I keep folding it towards the inside and then fold it in half like that. So everyone's different. But the concept of once you get it folded up and start rolling it, this is the tightest way possible. You can see you take about 3 foot or so and fold it, and you try to not land the fold on a crease or one of the D-rings. If you step your foot on here, you can feel one of the D-rings, but you don't want them close to where you start, because where you start is going to set the precedence for the rest of the roll. You want as tight as possible, fit it in a little box. All right, so the first thing you need to know is when you first start rolling it, you're going to fold this over and then tuck it in and curl it like this with your fingers. This is a very important part about rolling up the tarp tight, because if you don't, by the time you get to the end, that extra inch is going to turn into about 6 inches. So, like I said, keep curling up your fingers like this. And what it's going to do is it's going to start going out that way, and what you do for when you're doing the flap here, the overhang part that's folded over, you just keep moving it little by little. You don't want any big creases here where you're rolling it. And then once you get to about here where it's not going to go out anymore, you turn around. This is the big secret that nobody knows about. You put your feet here on the creases, and then you start rolling it towards you. Because like I said, when you first do it, you want to get a good curling action. But now, you want, what I say, iron each crease, each side, by stomping on each of the corners. And as you could hear there, I pushed down one of these D-rings. That D-ring's popping up. It's going to add an extra inch to this. By the time you're done, it's gonna turn into a couple inches, like I said. You can already see how tight this thing's rolling up. And it's uniform, and when you have a tighter rolled tarp, it's easier to move around, it's easier to throw on top, and it's easier to unravel too. Once you get to the end here, you got to put a bungee underneath the very end. Now this is where the flap is, but you got to have bungee underneath there, because once you roll it up, you don't want to go out and grab a bungee and have it unravel. But like I said, you put your foot on there, you roll it up. It's going to really want to separate at the end there. And you make sure that you don't go backwards. Don't unravel it and then rewind it back up. It's going to screw up the whole thing. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to pull this tight. Put your knee on here, pull the bungee there. Might want to loop it around and hook it back to the other hook. But that's how you roll up the tightest tarps you can.